Give me the reading, 'cause I've got a feeling, oh Lord, I'm in the mood to kill a sound. Soul mercenaries gonna throw one down.
So welcome back to the channel, fam. Hi, I'm Lita and I read cards. So today's reading, I want to give y'all a couple of heads ups, okay? First of all, trigger warning, okay? This reading is about crashing out, and there is a really dark message in one of those groups. I don't remember which one it is, but there's a real crash out message in one of those groups. I'm so sure that if I were monetized, I probably wouldn't be monetized after delivering the message, but I'm not delivering the message for money's sake on this one. I'm just delivering the message. I'm just the messenger, okay? Also, I want to give you a heads up and say that if you are not interested in how I come up with my topics or my method of brainstorming / studying, you're going to want to jump straight to the readings, okay? Yeah, I don't think there's much else I want to tell you guys, but I am starting to try and sneak some lessons in there, and I figure I might as well teach you guys the way that I learn. I don't really know how else to teach, so that's what we're doing. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Let me know. Okay, so I'm finally starting to understand my task as a spiritualist. On the channel, I keep telling y'all, oh, it's like I need to teach. Oh, I need to teach. And I don't necessarily, I feel like a teacher, but I don't feel like I have a full strategy to teach. And I've had so many of you reach out and tell me basically the same thing. And I don't think until today it really became fully evident to me that that's what it is. Well, so there will be times when I'm teaching something in a structured way, but the majority of the time what I'm here to teach you is how I've come to the conclusions that I've come to, how I've come closer, how I've gotten myself into recognizing the code, okay? And it has everything to do with synchronicity and symbolism. You know, I'm always telling guys, symbolism is king. And here we go. This is how I start my days, okay? Sometimes when it's a day and I need to make a video because my spirit is nudging that it's time to make a video. Sometimes I just have an idea off top, but a lot of times I don't. And the way I get what the video is always through synchronicity. So here's today's. For one thing, I know it has something to do with Latin. I know it has to do with things being lost in translation or changed in translation. But I just didn't know exactly what I was going to do. But I had this idea or this thought to start putting a symbol of the day in the upper right hand corner when I do a video, and just explain to you guys what the symbol means, just because that's another way for me to sneak another lesson in. And I knew that I wanted my first symbol to be an octopus. Okay, don't ask why. It is what it is. All right, so I get here and I don't know exactly what I'm reading about or how I'm going to present it. Am I going to save the other idea for another day? I don't know. And I still don't know. But I decided to pick out the decks that I'm using. Now, I was already aware that I'm in a place where I need to be reading my own decks right now. Just the veil's thin, reading my own decks. They get me better messages. I'm allowed. It allows me to pierce through the fog like a whole lot more. Okay, it's like putting on magnifying glasses or something. So I just go in and I decide to go through one of my boxes and pick out some decks. Okay, and I picked this deck first. I haven't even modified this deck, but it was like, oh, in case we need to name places, because I think this has famous buildings or landmarks from different places. And then I picked this deck, okay, because I just really liked this deck, and I don't feel like I read with it more than 10 times. It gets like that when you own a lot of anything. It's like you favor a few things and the rest of them kind of get lost. So I pulled it out. I also kind of remember maybe this deck was a little difficult to pinpoint things, but I won't remember until we get into it. But this is the deck that I was originally looking for. I had kind of given up on it, and then I saw it as I was going to close the box. But this deck was screaming to me, and this deck I call the deck that saved my life. Now, did it really save my life? No. But this deck was given to me when I woke up out of my coma in the hospital. One of, like how they have candy stripers, but they don't have them anymore. It was like that. And she brought me a bag up, and she was like, just something was screaming for me to come to your room and bring your bag. It had coloring books and crayons and colored pencils. And she usually gives to the kids or whatever. And she actually came up on the COVID floor, and they let her bring it to me. And when they wouldn't even let anyone visit me, these are the things that let me know that this is a mystical happening, okay? And in particular, she said, and I threw a deck of cards in there because they said you needed the cards. And I just started crying. I could barely breathe then. And I was just like, thank you. I really do need them. So I call this deck the deck that saved my life. And I almost never read with it. Okay. It's just one of those things. I just like to look at it. I just like to touch it. It makes me feel strong. It makes me feel like whatever I'm going through, I can heal through it and I can pull back through. So that deck is going to be included. And then I said, well, what exactly am I reading about? And I needed an ink pen because I said I'm going to actually write out my plan today. And I have a bag full of pens. I would love to show you guys, but as you can tell, I'm just even in my bedroom recording because I really haven't set up my reading room yet. Okay. So I had this bag full, like a drawstring backpack full of ink pens, and I went to reach in, and as I was reaching in, I was like, oh, this is like pulling like lottery balls or a Secret Santa gift or something like that. And then I was like, oh, I know what, I'm gonna pull a pen, and that's what we're gonna do our topic on. So the pen that I pulled is Calspan. Now I don't know what Calspan is. I am about to look it up, and from there hopefully I'll have an idea of what I want to do. But I said, well, I'm going to pick another pen just in case this is something that we can't do. And I pulled out the Kraken. But the Kraken has that monstrous octopus on it, which I thought was funny because synchronicity again. Now, remember, people like me, we don't believe in coincidences, okay? Just synchronicities, okay? And I said that I wanted my first symbol for, my symbol of the day to be an octopus. So they just were reminding me. So there it is. This is why I say to pay attention to the symbols. Now I'm going to pause this. I'm going to look up what Calspan is, and then I'll tell you what our topic is loosely. Okay. So Calspan is a crash test corporation. They're the ones that make the crash test dummies and let us, know what type of impact it is on the body or whatever. I think they're doing a lot of research in CTE as well or whatever. So it's crash tests. Now listen, I kind of have an idea of what the topic is, but I'm trying to figure out how do these things go together because I've been coming across the same thing. I started off with the whole lost in translation thing, but let me tell you what made me pick it. So I've been going through one of my old Latin books, as you can see. Amo, amas, ama, and more. And I decided to go through pages that I had marked, left, some sort of bookmark on. So, okay. Tenere lupum aribus. Okay. And it has a translation as to take the bull by the horns, but that's not actually a translation, which it gets into. Okay. The phrase is literally to hold a wolf by the ears. It implies fearlessness in confronting a dangerous situation, or boldness in dealing with difficulty. And it would have been changed to, I had a long conversation with my daughters about this yesterday. It would have been changed to a bull because of what a bull would have symbolized in this part of the world. It would be very similar to what a wolf would symbolize. So, but the fact that we're talking about, my initial topic is things that are lost in translation or changed in translation. This other topic, which was within that, has to do with dangerous situations, confronting dangerous situations, things where things are crashing or crashing out. And then we have CalSpan, which is crash test dummies. How are we going to put this together? I don't know, guys. Give me a couple minutes. I want to think about it, because I don't know what angle I want to go with this one. But I'll meet you in a couple minutes and we'll get started. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, so the topic of the day is that time you crashed out. How was it lost in translation? And when I get into the time that you crashed out, this is going to give us a win. No, a where. Where did it? I said a win because there's a clock on here. So maybe for some people there might be a win. But where did this crash out happen? This is going to describe the crash out. This is going to tell you how you can come away from the crash out, which is great because we have a motorbike on it, okay? And then I was like, so what am I using this for? And then all of a sudden, pop. And you can see it opened up because I actually clicked it. This is the symbol. There's going to be a symbol attached to this whole crash out healing situation, okay? Ooh. Is it going to be that? No, it's not. This is going to be the symbol of the day. I'm going to pull it. So as a matter of fact, so I won't have to edit a symbol in. Let's just go on and pull our symbol for the day. Well, I know what card I want, but it's not coming out. So I don't want to lose it. It's hard to be doing stuff one-handed. Okay. Daisies. Okay. Daisy is our symbol of the day. And excuse my chaos. Okay, so daisies are actually known to symbolize beauty and innocence. And also, like, does someone love you? Because, like, he loves me not. But that still has to do with beauty and the innocence of love. And also playfulness. What does that have to do with today's reading? I don't know yet, but maybe it'll show up in the groups. Because I think these are going to be a little... No, I'm still going to do 4. We're going to do 4 groups. Let me find something for you guys to choose from. Okay, guys, these are going to be your 4 groups. Group 1, you know how it goes. Group 2, Group 3, Group 4. I'm not even going to do my spiel, but what I am going to say is if you watch this reading and you feel like you need a personal reading, I can be contacted at miladymelody@gmail.com and we can discuss a personal reading. All right. So let me write down my questions, the way I want to pose them, and we can get started with group number 1. Okay, so you guys are really putting your reader to the challenge today. Okay, so for the crash out situation, and how were you lost in translation? The 3 questions that we're going to do is, where did it happen? And I'm going to not just look at, where the place is. I'm looking for symbolism or any word association I may be having. What actually happened, and then how can you heal the issue? And I want to say that I know immediately for all of you, this really is a loss in translation situation. You were not understood. You were misunderstood in this situation in your original expression. Now, I don't know what you did after things got escalated, but we're just talking about the initial communication and how it was lost in translation. Okay, so now that we know that, now we can actually move right on into group number 1. This out of the way and just put it. So, where did it happen? I really love these cards, and I never would write on them because I love them so much, and then I just didn't use them on another deck. But I'll show you guys what's on the bottom of the deck. Initially is Machu Picchu, and I am going to give you credit for this. Maybe you were in the mountains. Maybe you were someplace where there is a brick or stone house. Maybe you were in a garden, or maybe you're at a house that has an impressive garden. Someplace with lots of stairs is also implied. Now let me pull your card. We have Helsinki Central Station. So maybe you were in Finland. Maybe you were traveling. Yeah, maybe you were traveling. What else can I say? Maybe the place where you was green, because we had green in that first car and we got a lot of green in this car. Maybe it was in the evening. Only because I'm looking at the time. Maybe it was in the evening. Maybe you're on a train. In particular, maybe somebody was on a train going through the mountains. I don't know. Hell, people crash out in all types of places, especially since we have the internet. And, you know, you could be communicating with someone across the world. Is that going to be it? Brick or stone building. I already said that in the other one. Something with a lot of green. And that's all I have about where. Okay. Okay. So now we need to get into what exactly happened. Well, my cards are just all over the place today. That's because I'm working one-handed, y'all. I'm going to pause and then because I need to shuffle. And I feel like by now you guys trust that I wouldn't set the deck to make a story. So I'm going to pause and then I'm going to pick back up when I'm ready. Okay, fam. For cards, we have the Little Mermaid. We have Genie. The Genie from Aladdin. And then we have the Fisherman and the Genie. Okay. The first thing I want to say is either the person that you were interacting with, and I have a person because I have Genie instead of Jen, was a trickster, or you were being a trickster. But it doesn't look like that because I have the Little Mermaid on this side. Now, she was stepping outside of her element, but she was being tricked. Okay, she was trying to leave her box. She was trying to be someplace where she didn't really belong. Okay, and she wanted to belong in a place where she didn't belong. And because she wanted that so much, she got tricked. And then we have the Jinn here. Well, what exactly happened? We have wish fulfillment, son of wishes, spiritual friend, spiritual protector, and then we have tricked, defeating strongest opponents. Okay. So this time that you crashed out, you really hurt the person that you crashed out on there, because they're coming up as a suicide king, as the beast. It's like they're rah, 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 they're big and bad or whatever, you know, but really they're just hurting on the inside. Okay. They're really hurting on the inside. There you go. Suicide king. You were telling the truth. because this beast was trying to be the wisdom in the situation, like trying to tell you how you should behave, trying to teach you how to live on a higher energy level, how to become a part of their world. And you find out that it was all fake. Okay. And you crashed out. It's like you really felt like this person really was tricking you, like, and on purpose. And they were supposed to be teaching you something. They were supposed to be leading you somewhere. Yeah, they was leading you somewhere. They was leading you somewhere where they could harvest your energy. And you figured it out and you crashed out. So how is this lost in translation? How were their words lost in translation? Clarification, please. How are their words lost in translation? Oh my goodness, this is really wild. This is really wild. Okay, but I'm just gonna go with it because I have to. We're planting seeds. The way that your crash out was lost in translation is because this suicide king took it as like, oh, look at my baby. Oh, look at my son. Look at my son behaving just like me. It's like it got lost in translation because that person and maybe others that may have been on looking or whatever, in that moment, people equated your behavior to this person's behavior. It's like, oh, they're the same. And that person was like, oh, look at them crashing out on me. They're the same as me too. They're a little hypocrite too. I know you're not, though. I know you're not. But that's how your crash out got lost in translation. This is an interesting story. What was I using for the last day? Okay. That's right. We're going to use the deck that saved my life to see how can you heal the issue. So this is for you. Okay. Just fuck the other person. Fuck the other people. This is really just about you. How can you heal this issue? Let me shuffle the cards. I'll lay them out and I'll meet you in a second. Okay, so how can you heal the situation? I have the 6 of Pentacles and I have the 10 of Pentacles. The truth is that this situation has already been healed. As long as you have decided to move forward, to look forward, to put energy to move forward past these lessons, past this situation. This situation is already balancing out, but the 6 of Pentacles does also denote breadcrumbing. That's why I said it is important that you had to actually really look away, walk away, venture off. Like you have to move away from this situation. But as long as you've done that, things will balance out and you will find a stable home, family, teacher again. Do you hear what I'm saying? The things that tie us to earth, that tie us to others, all the good things, those things will come to you as long as you walked away from this. So at the end of the day, yes, you crashed out. And yes, it was lost in translation because people or that person made it seem like you two were the same. But as long as you know that you weren't and you leave this person alone, all's well. It'll heal itself, just like the amazing body. It'll heal itself. So I hope you enjoyed this message, Group 1. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Feel free to comment down below, good and or bad. I'm going to clear the board and we'll get right on in with group number 2. So hi, group number 2. Let's just get right on into it. I'm going to be using this deck. We're going to figure out a place and try to figure out where did this crash out happen. And this is just for you to figure it out. I'm not going to know too many of you, but you figure it out. But I'm going to give you the clues so you can figure it out. I'm going to pause and shuffle, and we can pick the card together for this one. Okay, so I had a card jump out, and y'all know I don't usually pick those, and it was the Guggenheim in Spain. And then as I was shuffling, another one flipped out, and I thought they were almost the same because they were both grayscale like this and just weird shapes. And then I looked at it closer, and I was like, oh no, this is Museo Somaya, okay, in Mexico City. So I'm just going to take this one as the card. I'm going to say you were at a museum, someone's house that has a lot of things that makes it seem like it's a museum. I am also going to add a mausoleum. But basically, it could also be a building that has a weird shape that's not like regularly shaped or irregularly shaped. Near a water tower. Wow. On a plane. I would have never saw that, but on a plane. And I have Mexico City, and the other card was Spain. So also, if we're looking for cities or, places like that, maybe someplace where they speak Spanish, or where it's one of the major languages. And it could just be an area where everyone speaks Spanish. Okay, so now that we have that, we're going to get into what exactly happened during this crash out. Let me shuffle and lay out a few cards, and let's see what happened in the crash out. Okay, so group 1 and 2 are connected. I'm not quite sure how, but I know that whoever picked group 1 could have also picked group 2. I don't know if it's the same crash out or if it's different crash outs. Because if you like me, you done crashed out a few times, okay? But I know for a couple of reasons. I know because I got 2 Aladdin cards, and we were just talking about Aladdin in the Jinn. That led me to believe it. Then I had 2 7s, then that led me to believe it. Then I had 2 3s, and I was, and 537 is my personal number. 1 and 2 go together. Maybe even reading number 3, just because I could just hear that thought in my head. Maybe even group number 3. But okay, so the crash out. We have the golden lamp from Aladdin. We have Aladdin himself, and we have the white rabbit. This is interesting and complicated because at the bottom of the deck we have 3 pigs. For some of you, this crash out actually has to do with you have a child and the other parent of the child stole from you they stole from you. You were surprised. You weren't expecting this from that person. I even believe maybe their behavior is even just out of the ordinary. Like the whole thing is just weird. It's different. It's not what's expected. It's not how necessarily the people that this person come from behaves either. But they are at home. And I feel like you actually went to their home. I feel like you fell down the rabbit hole and like you actually took it to them. Like you took this crash out to them. But it's definitely about money. And so for me, that's just stealing. I don't hesitate to say that if you and another person have a child and that other person doesn't contribute to the rearing of the child, and then they just claim that child on the taxes, I consider that stealing. And I consider it stealing from the child and the other parent. It's like your child is coming up as the golden lamp. Okay? And I just kind of see it as a parent-child situation. It's like this other parent is stealing from everything. It's stealing from resources, stealing from happiness, stealing from peace. And even flexing the child, flexing. Like, look what I made. And look who I made it with. And look what happened to me afterwards. I just feel like you just blew the house down. Like, you had enough. Like, and you just really crashed out. If this has nothing to do with you, I'm so sorry. Go back to reading number 1, because 1 and 2 are connected. Or, hell, maybe even 3 when we go back to that. Can you give me a little more clarification concerning exactly maybe what was said or what was done during the crash out? Okay. So you said something about this person not working, not having a job, but having money to get high or get drunk or something like that. And you just really... Oh, that's funny. I never noticed I put reparation in here. Okay. You just decided to call it as it is. You were just like, you need to work harder and play less. You need to get your shit together. And look, as you can see, intoxication is here. This is reparation, but I keep seeing, preparation, and I keep seeing it as reparation. So what happened was you was like, well, you don't have money to do what you need to do. You don't have money to help out with the child. I have teamwork and changing seasons. It's like this child is growing. This child needs new stuff all the time. Like, you helped make the child, it's like this type of situation, this type of conversation that you're having. But yet you don't have time for that. But you have time to do whatever it is you want to do, And it's about getting high. It's about getting high or drunk. Yeah, and you crashed out. How was that lost in translation? I'm sorry, your story is caused me to pull like this. How was that lost in translation? The sea witch and the fairy godmother. Okay. So the way it was lost in translation is that the other parent just saw you as somebody that's just wicked. It's just like horrible, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? You're just like, fuck you. Who gives a fuck how you feel, right? And they feel like you're trying to change them over. It was like you were telling them you're like a piece of shit. Like, you're a horrible person. And that's not how they see themselves, right? Listen, okay, so you really had no option but to say what you said. I can see here that your spirit guides, your ancestors, your whole team was behind you, telling you to say these things. What you said to them, what the words that you said to them was incantation. You were speaking a spell over them. You were telling them they need to get their shit together. They being really weird. They being really out of shape, okay? Like, they just ain't behaving like how they should. They ain't looking how they should. And they think that they're special, and you like they're not special. And that's why I got two of these. Now that makes sense now why I got two of these that look the same, but upon inspection they weren't the same. But the reason why is because it ain't that special. It ain't that unique. It's like maybe the first one of these museums that was shaped like this, it was that special. It was that unique. But where we are now, it's not, because it's like so many of them, you know, like you really just called this person out and spirit led you to do it. And they took it, and maybe others took it as if like you were just being mean and hateful, and trying to change this person. But you was speaking the truth that they needed to hear. You was shattering the illusion. You were removing the mask. And I applaud you. Now, how can you heal this issue? I'm going to pull two. I'm going to pull two of these. And then if we need more, we'll pull some more. So let me shuffle them real quick, and I'll meet you back over here. Well, I need to give a disclaimer before I say this. This could be Spirit's interpretation. It could be my interpretation. I don't know. But we're going to find out, okay? If y'all think I'm full of shit and this was my interpretation, when we get to this card, just put the poo emoji down there. If it's spirit, put the stars, okay? This is how you're going to heal the issue. You're going to remain detached from this person. You're going to remain knowing that you are full as you are. You have everything that you need to take care of your family, or you have the resources to get it. And you are ever expanding. You are forever going from a 9 of Pentacles to 10 of Pentacles. You will heal this situation by reveling in your own independence and power and pushing through. You got it and they don't, okay? Because this person is a suicide king. And the message in particular was, let them continue to kill themselves. Not in the sense of actually killing yourself, but you know, like when people are caught up in addiction. And I don't mean that addicts, you know, aren't valuable people or we shouldn't help them. But in this situation, please don't interpret what I didn't say. Okay? What I'm saying is in this situation, how can you heal the issue? Just let them continue to do what they do to themselves. Let's say it that way, because some people are caught up in addiction and they don't want any help. Okay? They are trying to end it. And they don't know how to end it, or they don't have the courage to end it, or maybe even some of them are sparing the feelings of others and they don't really end it. But like this type of person, they're really miserable. Really miserable. And if you let them, they will take you down and you will be caught up in their miseries too. You don't want to be caught up in their miseries. You want to heal. So you just want to separate yourself from this type of BS, okay? Just let them continue to live in ruin. You know, a dog that returns to its own vomit, man, you're not going to pull them away from it. Just let them indulge. But you just take care of home, because I have you and your family life being in a wonderful situation. Just continue to focus on you and yours, and everything will work out right. You know, so what, the crash out got lost in translation. It was the truth. It needed to be heard, and it was guided. Okay, so fuck it, you crashed out. Oh well. Oh well. So I hope you enjoyed this reading, group 2. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Feel free to comment down below, good and or bad. And I'm going to clear the board and we're going to move right on into group number 3. All right, so group number 3, and your starting time was 3757. That 357 code is running. So 1, 2, and 3 do all go together. Very interesting. So group 3, before we started this story, Okay, before I even got the card, I decided to go ahead and pre-shuffle y'all's cards so they would be over here and ready to go when I pause. And this card pops out. Now, I never even realized this was in the motor deck, okay? But it's a card. It's called Fake Tips, right? It's a bunch of sarcastic type shit, like the motor brand. The motor brand poker's unit package can only be opened from the top to take out the playing cards. The bottom is sealed and can't open. Oh, hold on now. Hold on. I'm going to pause for a second. We're going to look at this. I'm pretty sure it should be open. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the bottom of the box is sealed, so these are not fake. Now, I'm going to tell you what that means to me now. There are a couple other things that he said, and I thought it was just being facetious, being funny, but it's not. These are real things, and they, I would have never thought so. Like, one of them is saying, like, the core of the cards is purple or whatever. If you tear one open, you'll notice it's purple. This is my first time noticing that when you slide the deck on the side or you look at it from the top or bottom, especially if you move it the right way, you can see that it is actually purple. Okay, so I know off top that this is a situation where you said something and somebody was ha 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 ha, like you were joking, and then they realized that you weren't fucking joking. Whatever you said or did, it seemed like it was a fucking joke at first, but it was not. It was real. I'm ready to get right on into y'all's reading. Let's figure out, where did this crash out happen? Let me just pull out one. We have the Pyramid of the Sun and Teotihuacan. I don't remember how to say this, okay? I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I just don't remember how to say it. There's only a few names that okay, neither here nor there. Okay, Mexico City, someplace in the country, someplace with a lot of dirt, someplace with mounds, someplace made with bricks, someplace elevated, someplace where rituals are done. City capital, town square. Stairwell, ramp to a courthouse, ramp to a hospital, someone's front porch, like you brought it to their doorstep. Or maybe they're a hotel. Maybe you went to the Hotep's house. I don't know, but I think this one had maybe the most choices. I'm going to get ready to pull 4 cards for you guys instead of 3. 4 cards for what exactly happened through the crash out. We're going to be using this deck. Meet me back in a second. Okay, so you guys know I don't read reversals, but everything came out reversed. So we have yet another symbolism of topsy-turvy. It came out one way. It looked one way. Upon greater inspection, it needs to be flipped around. We have the Joker from The Wizard of Oz. We have Alice in Wonderland, the Queen of Hearts. We have King Midas, and we have Gretel. I am noticing that greed is involved. Greed. And then someone who outfoxes the greedy person. Greed. What happened? I know this has to do with money too, because I had the Joker, I had the Wizard of Oz. I'm just, Emerald City is just stuck in my head. And King Midas, everything he touched turns to gold. And the Queen of Hearts, she just had so much wealth. She was just doing a bunch of dumb shit just because she could. And then we have Gretel. What What happened? What happened? I need a little more deck. What happened? Like, what exactly happened? One sea witch and the fairy godmother. Didn't we have the two of these together in another reading? Come on now. They can't all be that interconnected. Is this like more of like the same story or something? Somebody need to tell me what's going on. The sea witch and the fairy godmother. The fairy godmother is alchemy, so that's another topsy-turvy. Magic ancestors like over. Oh, okay. I had to shut the hell up for a minute. Okay. Is that really all it is? How does that go? It has something to do with money. It has something to do with you turning a situation where you were lacking into a situation where you had a surplus and people was jealous of it. But where did I get jealous from? Who the hell get you jealous? Emerald City, because I could just hear from the Wiz. It sucks to be mean. Green. When everybody had on the green, because they were talking about envy. That's where I get it from. And also, as I said that, I looked at my daughter's door, and underneath the door, so you guys can see, you see the green light shining out. This is a full lesson on synchronicity today. Okay. Yeah, as a matter of fact. Okay. And this person got envious. I think we have all the topsy-turvy because I don't know if they thought you had money at first and then they found out that you didn't have money. And then they tried to say something about it, and then you had to show them out that, no, you do have money. And then it made them jealous. Or if it was that, damn. I don't know. I just know they were trying to take some money from you. Oh, they were trying to take some money from you, and I think you ended up swindling them. I think they tried to swindle you. They tried to swindle you, and you decided to swindle them in reverse. That's your topsy-turvy. That's your reverse Uno. You took them for a trip. You took them for a ride, baby. Okay. Oh, I was lost. Lost in emotion. I was lost. Okay. How can you heal the issue? Do you even need to heal the issue? I don't know, but let's check. All right. How can you heal the issue? We have the Queen of Spades. We have the Four of Wands. We have the Five of Pentacles. And we have the Page of Wands. Or Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands. How can they repair the situation? Oh, if only I could find my fate. I mean, I definitely see you choosing your words wisely. Guarding yourself. Maybe being a little set off, a little off-putting, a little cold. But not unwilling to express what needs to be expressed and sharply. Oh my goodness. Can I give a message like that? I'm going to pull one more card just to see, can I give a message like this? Sometimes I get these types of messages and I think, was I way off? I know some of y'all hit me up privately and be like, no, it wasn't my exact situation, but sometimes I think Spirit doesn't want me to get these messages because I know they won't be well received by the general public, but I'm aware that everything has its time and season. So all the things that you find deplorable have a place. Can I get that message? Golden lamp, surprise treasure. Okay. There's that Aladdin card again. Okay, I can't get the message. The ways you can heal the issue is to cheat back. And in particular, for some of you, this is like actually legitimately like a marriage situation, or y'all live together, something like that. It's like you the queen and your partner is acting like a knight, with his wand, just putting it everywhere. And they presented themselves as someone that could take care of you, that could provide for you or add on, and they couldn't. And you're going to switch the roles. So you're going to do to them what they were doing to you or what they tried to do to you. This is like, I'm going to be real honest with you. It kind of came out as cheat back. Just cheat back. Like for some of you in particular, this is a long-term relationship and there has been some discrepancy or just deceit concerning finances. But also this person is just a cheater. And they're saying cheat back. Cheat back first. Take what you need. And then dip. I'm so sorry if this message didn't have anything to do with you. But if it didn't have anything to do with you, I don't know if you should do 1 or 2 or if you should avoid them, because groups 1, 2, and 3 are all connected. I don't know if they're connected because one of these messages isn't for you and you need to go back and figure out which one is for you, or if it means this isn't for you, 2 isn't for you, and 1 isn't for you either, and move it on to 4. I don't know, but for those of you that it is for, okay, I see you. Get to moving. Get to going. You got places to go, people to meet. Okay? Goodness gracious. So I hope you enjoyed this reading, group 3. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Feel free to comment down below, good and or bad. Let me clear the board, and then we'll get into our final group, which is group number 4. Okay, group 3. Seems I didn't put, how was it lost in translation? But maybe just because it's just a bunch of deceit. Everything is lost in translation. It's like the person that you're dealing with is lying. And the cards are telling you to lie back. So everything is lost in translation because it's just all topsy-turvy. It's just all a bunch of bullshit. They're giving you a bunch of bullshit, so you're going to give them a bunch of bullshit. And so I think your crash out is lost in translation because I think that they think you're just nagging. Like you're just, yeah, it's just a crash out. They think it's just a crash out and they think that that's all they're going to get. Lost in translation, you about to do it back and dip. I ended up having to explain a little more in the next group because I realized I didn't. So if you'd like to, just watch maybe the next minute, which is the first part of group 4. Or if not, this is good enough because this is better than what I told them. This is just me coming back after the fact and adding it in for you guys. Your lost in translation is just that. It was just it's a bunch of BS going on. So everything's lost in translation then. Okay, group number 4. So you crashed out, okay, and it got lost in translation. I don't even think I did what was lost in translation in group 3. I'm gonna put a footnote. in the group 3. But if you were at 3 and you made your way over to 4, I'm going to express it to you. And group 4s that just came directly to your group, I'm going to express it to you. And I'm assuming it may have something to do with your group. But how I did not go over in the beginning or at the end how group 3 was lost in translation. But how they were lost in translation is the situation is so close. It's so flip-floppy, topsy-turvy. That is what made it lost in translation. It's just a evolving situation that's flipping sides. It's two sides of the same coin. I don't want to go too deep in it because we're on your group. Okay, so you crashed out. How was that lost in translation? Okay, so first we're going to start off with where did it happen? Let's pull a card and see. I've decided to do it like this just to see if we get some different variety plus I used to. Okay, Willis Tower. Okay, Chicago, USA. So maybe it happened in Chi-Town. Maybe it happened in Illinois. Maybe it happened in the Midwest. Maybe it happened in a Capitol building. Maybe it happened downtown somewhere. Capital city, somewhere in a capital city. An office building, a hospital, somewhere with 2 towers, somewhere with 2 towers or 2 obelisks, on a football field. That's so interesting, but on a football field near the goalpost, up in the sky. So helicopter, airplane, bungee cord. I don't know, but up in the air. In an apartment complex, in a school. I said hospital, I believe. Library, maybe like a huge library, like an archive. Okay, that's what we got for where it happened. All right, and then we're going to get into what exactly did happen. What happened in this crash out situation? Somebody else been using my deck. That's how I had some upside down. No, bottom of the deck, guys. Sorry. All right, so we have the ugly duckling. We have the Wicked Witch of the West, and we have Pinocchio. You call somebody ugly, selfish, evil, a liar, a baby, you called them a baby, a mama's baby. Some of you threaten to end this person's life. I'm just going to leave it at that. But you definitely called them a liar, a poser, a clout chaser. I mean, that's what happened. Can I ask why exactly did that? No, I'm not going to ask that. So what was lost in translation about it? We'll do 2 for this. We have poison apple and we have Snow White. Interesting. The poison apple and Snow White. What was lost in translation? False peace offering. Being envied, a target. Resting while ill, coma inducing. False peace offering, deception. It's a couple things here that's talking to me, and I'm not quite sure what they're saying. Let me get my magic mirror. Okay, we have another flip around. Magic mirror. It was lost in translation. I know it was lost in translation, but I know that what they think is close to or the exact opposite. Or it's misplaced, like time-wise. What exactly was lost in translation? Oh, okay. Okay. So how it was lost in translation is because this person felt like you were saying it because you're hating on them, because you're jealous of them, because you're envious of them. And you just said that to poison them, to make them not go any further. But in reality, you were just holding the mirror up to them, and you were talking to them like how they talk to you. So since you were holding the mirror up to them, this is a deceitful person, a false person that pretends to be your friend. They're draining you. See the coma inducing? They are draining you of your energy. These are destiny swappers. And maybe they're actually good looking, but you don't see it because you know how ugly they are. And they were actually targeting you. They were targeting you to steal your style, to steal whatever. And they were morphing into you. I don't know if you knew that, but they were morphing into you. How can you heal the issue? How can we heal this issue? 2 cards, please. 3 of Swords. 10 of Wands. How can we heal the issue? Let it go. Cut the ties. The deception here has already happened. No sense in carrying that burden. Put it down. It's done. It's finished. We got a 10 here. It's finished. Just let it go. Let her cook. It's done. You done already cooked. You done already said what you needed to say. You done already did what you needed to do. Just leave it alone. That's how you can heal the issue. And there's really nothing to heal. What I've learned in each one of these groups is that there was nothing to heal except for you after the situation. Okay. None of these crash outs were out of bounds, unprovoked, and neither is yours. So I hope you enjoyed this reading, group 4. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Feel free to comment down below. And that's going to conclude today's reading. I want to tell you guys that this is my first time ever doing an hour-long video. Okay, I'm at 59 minutes and 40 seconds, and I want to take a moment to tell everybody that I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope you all enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. I hope you guys come back to see more. Please like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
There is nothing at all that you can do. Now that the mercenary back through.